Big Guy Fitness, day 22. It's hard to conceive that we are into week 3 already with this. It's awesome though, and I'm thankfully seeing some results and some gains. And it's been a good 3 weeks so far. And today's main topic we're going to talk about is obsession with this journey. Sorry, there's a critters cleaner right here. Obsessing with this journey that we're on can get a little out of hand. It's almost, for me, addictive. I'm not an addictive personality really, but I am noticing some things that I'm trying to not fall too deeply into. One of them is when you're monitoring your weight losses and your muscle gains and stuff. I always saw I used to think it was funny when I'd go into the gym and I'd see these guys stare after every lift and every pump. They put the weights down and then they stare in the mirror and then they flex their arms and they're trying to see, oh, where am I at? And I didn't realize that's kind of what it was. I always thought it was them just being egotistic. And I'm going up this deadly hill again. This is the worst. It's the best though. So anyway, I always thought it was like the ego. Like people looking in the mirror going, yeah, I'm the best. Look at how awesome I look. But I realized it wasn't that. It's more, I didn't make it up that hill, did I? I just gave up. Hey, it's Monday. Take a half a win. I would always look at those people and kind of laugh, and because I don't have an ego, I'm always thinking like a typical guitar player, right? You could be really good at guitar, but most of them think, I suck. I'm not any good. Like there's, so same thing with this. I know I have so far to go. So there's no real thoughts about like, oh, look at me, look at this. It's not about that. But I see these people in the mirror and I always had a judgment and I was like, oh, these guys they're the best. They think they're the best. And I think it's more obsession than anything. I think they're looking in that mirror and they're obsessed with their gains. And every time they look, it inspires them to keep going. So it's a cool thing, but it can get out of hand when you're literally walking down past every window on a street and you're looking in it and staring at yourself. I see people do that all the time. Again, if it inspires you, cool. But if you go down that rabbit hole too much and that's all you're doing, one, you're gonna look like kind of a jerk staring at yourself all the time. Two, it's just not healthy if your mind is focused on this all the time, because life is passing you by. I keep talking about that. Life is so short. You got to make sure you have room for all the other things. And if you're only focusing on this, then that may be taking a lot away from all that stuff. Now, on the other hand, if it's inspiring you to get stuff done, have at it. You don't need to listen to anything I say. But I always thought it was funny, that whole thing. Well, the same thing with the numbers and I'm finding myself a little bit watching these videos and all my video feed is popping up is go from 25% body fat to 10 in 3 weeks. First of all, no, that'll never happen. And then they show these pictures of people at certain body fat. So now you can get a DEXA scan. You can use the calipers. A lot of this stuff's not accurate. 100% DEXA scan is the most, or one of the most accurate, but it's expensive. And I'm not a bodybuilder. I don't care about that stuff. I care about visually what I do see in that mirror. But the number of, am I at 18% body fat, or am I still at 20, or, I assume I'm trying to get to around, I'd say probably about 13% body fat, somewhere in that neighborhood. I think I'm still at about 18, maybe 19% body fat. Sometimes I think I'm at 15 or something, but I don't think I am, because my waist still has a good amount of sludge. But anyway, even obsessing about that, I'm trying to really get away from it. In fact, I'm trying not to click on those videos anymore, because a lot of it's similar information, and I don't really care. I can see what's in the mirror. So I'm trying to not obsess about that. I'm trying to get my mind out of that whole thought process. So obsession's a tough thing, because it's good, I think, for inspiring me every day to continue this. Every day I wake up and I look in that mirror, you don't want to get depressed, obsessed. Like, you don't want to look at it and go, oh man, I'm not 15% yet. But if it's inspiring you and saying, man, I'm close, I see those pictures of those people, and that's what I want to be. Now, the other weird thing about all this is, again, we have to accept that we all have different biologic advantages and disadvantages. Some people are taller, some people have longer muscles, some people have shorter muscles, some people have hair. Oh, it's all gone. Some people have just wider shoulders, which leans towards, if you do get in shape, you're going to have that V shape a little more, or the potential of having that V shape. If you have short, like thinner shoulders, you're always going to look kind of a little more straight or pear-shaped if you really don't get that last bit off your waist. But that's not something to be discouraged about. You're just given the cards you are. So the obsession over any of that is not a great thing. So if you have less wide shoulders, start really working your shoulders and your upper body more, right? So all these things can be offset a little bit. It's harder when we're focusing on the waist, especially for a guy, because that's the last part that comes off. I see on women that the waist kind of thins out sooner than the hips and the thighs do, so they can have a really small waist and bigger other parts. So we all have our challenges, but you have to understand that obsessing over it really can be a thing that takes you away from the rest of your life. It's not, and you gotta weigh, what is that worth it for you? Do you not have a lot of people that you want to be around and care about? For most of us, we have family and friends, and sometimes those things get neglected because we're focusing on all this. So take a step back, try and walk by a mirror without looking into it. Just try one. And yeah, anyway, so today's music listening for the day is going to be Steel Panther. I did a short on it a little earlier. Amazing band, musicianship with the guitar players. His name's Satchel in the band, but his name's Russ Parrish. And he was a GIT student, grad, teacher. And then he was in bands with Paul Gilbert, who was in Mr. Big. And they had a band, Electric Fence. And then they started the Steel Panther band, which started out as Atomic Punks, which was more of a Van Halen 80s kind of cover band. And they were awesome. And then anyway, watch the other video, talk a little about that. And it's just fun listening. It's kind of 80s. It's 80s cover stuff. They have their own albums out, but there's still like comedy stuff with, if the lyrics weren't funny, which they're hilarious, the musicianship is, the music of the album is just amazing. Their guitar playing, everything, the songwriting, composing, super fun. So this video is a little bit of a rant and all over the place. I tend to not try to do that. If I get into that, I try and start the video over. But it's Monday and I'm exhausted, and I don't want to turn this hour walk into an hour and a half walk right now, because I want to try and get 2 in today. So I'm going to finish up this walk. I got another 20 minutes. And then I am going to do my weights, which today is the arms bis and tris splits, do some abs, and also do some shoulders. Try and make that quick today. I'm gonna do some fast sets where you kind of lift to failure, and then you only take like a 15-30 second rest, pretty much 15-second rest, and then you do it again. And then you really can only do, if you're doing 20 of those, you can only do like 17 the next time, and then the next time. So if you do 4 or 5 sets, I'm gonna try and do 4 sets instead of 5 to make this quicker today. And then by the time you're at the last set, maybe you're doing 5 of them, but it really burns you out. You can even add a little bit of weight to each one. A lot of times they don't. A lot of times you stay static with the weight and just burn till you can't lift anymore. Yeah, so that should make this go rather quickly today, so I can get some other things done. As I'm saying with the obsession, that was part of the reason I was thinking about this. Is I was like, man, I got a lot to do today, and I don't want to get caught in the cycle of focusing only on this. So I'm gonna end it there. Hope everybody's having an amazing week, or had an amazing weekend, is having an amazing Monday. Let's try and get through this week and have some gains. And I will talk to you all on the next one. Like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Comment, all that stuff. Let me know where you're at in your journey. I'd really, really like to have a discussion and see what you guys are doing that you're finding success in, and see if there's anything holding you all up that maybe we could share some information with and inspiration with. All right, I will talk to you tomorrow.